everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Josie. Today I'm doing my annual memorial to my daughter, Cheryl Ann Lawrence, who passed away in December 11th, 1969. So for people who follow my channel, since I've been doing YouTube, I have done a memorial in her honor. Besides honoring my precious daughter, I guess I also do this because of some of the things I witnessed and went through, and maybe it would help someone else. The most terrible loss that you could have in this world is losing a child. And I've talked to other people about that. Yes, it's terrible to lose a parent, it's terrible to lose a relative, but you will never know real pain until you lose a child. And I learned a lot from my daughter, believe it or not. She was 9.5 when she passed away from muscular dystrophy. But this little girl had more faith in the Lord Jesus than so many adults. And the things that she said before she passed away have always stayed in my mind. And we're all human, and sometimes we have those little doubts that creep in. I always remember her words. And I think she taught me more about the Lord than anyone on this earth has ever told me or taught me. Now, if you're a non-believer, you don't have to watch the video, but I have proof in my life there is a heaven. And also, biblically, I do believe there is a hell. So, my daughter, when she was born, there was no signs of anything wrong with her. When she was about 6 months, I noticed when she started to crawl, she dragged one leg behind her. She didn't crawl like a normal child. And then her brother, who is 14.5 months younger than her, they were supposed to have a tonsillectomy. And in my heart, I always felt like something was wrong. She wouldn't gain weight, and doctors would just tell me to feed her more. And anyway, both of my children had a cold, and so the doctor wanted to do a chest x-ray. And my son was fine, and he went ahead and had his tonsils removed. But my daughter, they noticed that she had an enlarged heart. So doctor says, we're not doing surgery on her. So then, excuse me, he sent us to a specialist in Portland, Oregon. And that's when she was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy. So I always knew in my heart, muscular dystrophy affects the muscles, and that's why it affected her heart. And that's probably why she passed away as soon as she did, is her heart enlarged. And there's no cure, excuse me, for an enlarged heart. My brain's going faster than my mouth today. Anyway, I like to share her determination and her stubbornness. It's sometimes being stubborn is good, sometimes it's not, but it makes you strong. The doctor had told me that she would never ride a bicycle. And the deal was, we had told both of the kids that when they had their tonsils removed, that we were going to buy them each a bike, which we did. We bought 2 bikes. And my husband and I didn't feel like it was fair to say, well, you can't have yours because you can't have the surgery. So doctor told me, though, he knew about this, and he told me, Cheryl's never going to learn to ride the bicycle. She's not going to be able to. Well, I can tell you, she did. She would go out there and she would try and she would try and fail and come in and cry. And one day I just said, Cheryl, how much do you want to ride that bicycle? And she says, Mommy, more than anything in this world. And I said, then you'll do it. And that day she did it. She was the happiest little girl that you had ever seen on this earth. So I got a lot of my strength from her. And forgive me, but every time I do a memorial, I usually get halfway through and then I get emotional. I always like to share this other thing too. It was many years before I shared this other than with my husband. I just felt it was very private, and then I realized it might help someone. And so why am I keeping this a secret? I think God wanted me to talk about it. We lived on a ranch, and the ranch house had a very long hall from Cheryl's bedroom to my bedroom to her brother's bedroom. And this one night, I knew she wasn't really feeling good, and the doctor did give me some medication for her, and her little feet were very swollen. They were edematous. And she would walk down the hall, just my husband and I were in bed, and I had tucked her in for the night. She'd stand in the doorway and just start talking. And she did this 3 times, and I'd go and tuck her into bed. And the last time she was talking about things that I had never heard of. I don't think humans, we're not supposed to know until we do get on the other side. But I remember that feeling. I was in awe. I was just like, wow, you know. And I was determined I was going to remember when I woke up the next morning, which I wasn't supposed to, and God didn't allow me to. The one thing I did remember is she constantly talked about angels. And she kept asking if she could still set the Christmas tree. Because as the story goes, my husband had got us the Christmas tree, but we lived in Idaho, it was snowing, and so he put it on the back porch, and the next day we were all going to decorate the tree. So Cheryl kept asking, can I still set the Christmas tree? And I don't know if she was talking to me or to the angels, but I remember that. And I also remember, like I said, I had never heard of things that she spoke of. And so then the last time she had come down the hall and was talking like this, I told her to come and get in bed with Mommy and Daddy. And she laid next to me. And when I woke up in the morning, she had passed away. She had went to heaven. So, and the reason why, there's another reason why I do this. I see so many people. It is hard for holidays. It's difficult when you lose loved ones and you celebrate, or you're all by yourself. Let me tell you, the reason I celebrate Christmas, and I always will until I'm not able to, is my daughter loved Christmas. It was her favorite time of year. In fact, I used to take her to the church bazaar in November, and she would bring her money and buy little gifts for family members. And before she passed away, she had them already wrapped. So, in fact, it was, I know, hard on family, because I told them, I said, and we had went ahead and set the tree, and I put her gifts under the tree, and I told the family members, you are going to enjoy this day and you are going to open her gifts. This was Cheryl's day. Sorry. So even the Christmases that I had spent all by myself, because one of my husbands had passed away. You can tell I've been married more than once. And I set the Christmas tree and decorated. I will always do that unless I'm not physically able to do it. This was her day. And so I like to tell people, yes, it's hard, especially when you lose somebody in December especially. It is very hard. And everyone grieves in a different way. And that's why also I did some videos on grieving. We all grieve different, and we can't tell people how to grieve. But my feeling is she's not suffering. Her muscular dystrophy could have gotten so severe that she would have suffered a lot more. Now, she got a lot of headaches. In fact, the day before, she loved school. She was a good student. She got good grades. She did not want to miss school. But when she got up in the morning, her little feet were so swollen, and I could not get shoes on her. And I told her, I said, Cheryl, you can't go to school, honey. So I know that her muscular dystrophy could have gotten to the point in her congestive heart. She actually died of congestive heart failure. So I was never angry at God. I never lost my faith. So anyway, now that I've blubbered all over, this is my precious daughter, and I honor her in every way I can. And if this video doesn't give you anything, I hope it gives you strength to deal with whatever you have to deal with. And I'm going to close it. God bless you guys. Bye, everyone.